be cute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back with another episode of what do they call this again? Admirable Individuals. Admirable Individuals is what this is called. And I'm here with my guest, James Adomian. Did I pronounce that right?
You did. Thank you, Isaiah Bronson.
Adomian. I wasn't sure over the course, like in my head, I was playing with the idea in my head, like, is it Adomian? Like, I messed it up, shit. Just asking.
You got it. No, that's your Canadian command of many languages. You have a good intuition.
Thank you. It's probably exactly what that is.
Yeah. So it's admirable individuals?
Yeah.
I don't belong here. It's nice to meet you finally.
Likewise.
We're meeting for the first time. I've been a fan for a while, and here we go.
Yeah, man.
It's the stage I did my show on tonight.
What an interesting like segue. Like, this is our first in person, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like I've met you. I'm meeting you.
Yeah, we've been chatting.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah. It's been a while. So Omaha.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
How was that?
I get this sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, because I was born in Omaha, so I'm online. It says Omaha guy.
It does.
But then I was only there for like 3 months when I was born.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was it.
So then we moved away back to Atlanta when I was a little tiny baby. But I've been booked on things in Omaha and nearby in Nebraska many times because people were like, "Hometown hero,
You embrace it?
time to come home. We can't wait to welcome you back." And then I have to like say that on stage, like, well, yeah, I was like 3 months old when I left, and then half the room gets up and leaves.
But you accept the booking regardless. So it's
Sure, yeah. I've done festivals and clubs and one weird independent film in Omaha and stuff. So
okay.
I like going there. It's a fine place.
Do you have any family members or
No, because my parents were just temporarily living there when I was born.
So you have no ties to Omaha?
Basically not. It's just on paper. The birth certificate.
So when did you? Would you consider yourself like a Californian?
Yeah, pretty close to it. I moved to California when I was almost 10 years old from Atlanta. So I went through junior high school here, and I've lived here almost all my life since 1989. I was 2 years in New York. That doesn't count. They're like, you are definitely not a New Yorker if you lived in New York for 2 years. So yeah, and I started comedy in LA.
Okay.
More than 20 years ago. So.
Okay, you started on the stage, like stand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stand up and sketch comedy and improv and all that stuff, and most of that went away. And now mostly what I do is stand up and cartoons.
So what was the first segue out of the comedy stage world? Like, what was the first thing you did outside of what you were accustomed to doing?
That's a good question. You're good at this.
They
throw crazy things at you when you're a young comedian, because we did a show in the basement of the Ramada Inn over on Vermont Avenue in Los Feliz, and we did all these basement shows. There was El Cid, which is an underground bar, like a down the hill kind of bar, from the 1920s or something, and somewhere else. Oh, and there was a Santa Monica venue I played at. There was also underground, down a stairway and stuff. So all my earliest venues were literally underground, and crazy stuff happened in those days where I'd come doing a character, like doing George W. Bush, or doing a drag character, or doing a Vincent Price character, all these different characters I used to play, and then I would have to follow somebody famous, even back then, 20 plus years ago, someone like Mark Maron, who was not as famous as he is now, but even back then he was a big name. And he had another set that night at the Comedy Store, so I had to go on after him as some I'm just starting out, so
throw right into the fire.
You learn really quick, that you're have to, because a smaller show, it's not always like the headliner goes last. If it's a smaller independent show, they might have something they have to go do. So sometimes the younger idiot has to go up after a more famous person.
Okay,
especially in LA.
How did you do? Just out of how did that?
I had to pretend that I was doing well, so I did.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You fake it
till you make
exactly.
it. Yeah,
I'm still trying to make it, but I still fake it. Really well.
It's so funny, and I told this to Edgar, who's the person behind the
Edgar.
I didn't Google you until maybe 2 to 3 days ago.
Okay.
Right.
Good. That's organic friendship.
Right?
Yeah.
I had one, and then I Googled you, and then I'm like, oh oh, this is a pretty impressive guy. Like, you're a pretty impressive guy. Like, you, and then the Mad TV stuff. Like, I had to go down when I say down them, like, on the Wikipedia page, right? And then
that's a fake credit, though. I was never a cast member on Mad TV. Somebody put that on. I've never fucking curated my Wikipedia page. So people go in there and like
just edit it.
Yeah, and there's some trolls that put some crazy shit on there sometimes and stuff. I was never a cast member on Mad TV. I was in like 1 or 2 voiceover animated sketches for Mad TV. Like,
so that wasn't you dressed as George Bush?
Not on Mad TV, no. Okay. I did voiceovers for one of their Christmas specials, and maybe it was 2 years in a row.
Did you meet Bobby Lee at all?
I've only done a couple shows with him, and I don't think. I mean, we pass each other at the Comedy Store occasionally, but I'm not. That's not normally my place where I go up. So I've been on a couple of, or I've been like on like next door to him or something. We have been on the same cartoon a couple times, but very often cartoon people record solo, so you don't
actually interact.
You might pass someone in the hall and be like, "Oh, hey man," or whatever like that. So that's the most I've had with Bobby Lee.
So the cast, like for an animated series, they wouldn't necessarily be in the room.
Sometimes they are, but very often they're not.
Is there like a group cast reading at any point in time during the process?
I like it when that happens, and again, it's like usually not, but some like Bob's Burgers, for example, has a cast reading for not every episode, but like half of them. I think, maybe I'm wrong. And
why do you like it?
I like it because it's just fun to see the timing of how it plays out with multiple actors.
Okay.
And there's some cartoons that do try to do multiple actors at the same time recording, and there's booths that are set up that way with like divisions between the microphones. And they did it that way with a PBS cartoon they did a million years ago called Word Girl for kids. That was like, I would do it at the same time as all these like voiceover legends and stuff in the room. But also there was this like short-lived, maybe 2 seasons, this Nickelodeon cartoon I was on called Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket. Okay. And there's a wrestling connection because one of my main character on the show was the president of the planet, and he was like a cartoon dog. But I played him, and they animated. They intentionally did this. They were like, "We want you to do Jesse Ventura, and we're gonna make him look like that." So this is like 10 years ago.
Was that the inception of you like doing the Jesse Ventura?
I had already been doing it for a while, so the guy who created the show was like, "I think I want you to do Jesse Ventura for the president of the planet." So this was maybe not 10 years ago, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago, and yeah, it would always be like, "Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket, you gotta come into my office." I played it really, really cartoonish Jesse Ventura, you know? I'm gonna put you under arrest for the last thing I do.
Oh, man. So
yeah, I wish it had been more of a success because there would have been like toys and stuff.
So what would you say is like your favorite impression that you're currently enlisted to do fairly often?
It rotates, you know. It's right now on TV. There's another Minnesota guy. For some reason, I've never lived in Minnesota. I go there at least once a year to perform, in usually Minneapolis. But there's Jesse Ventura, you know, like,
look, let me tell you, Isaiah. Yeah, let me tell you something, Bronson. You're up there. You're a heel on stage. I see it. You've got no respect for the jobbers out there. That's a way to punish a body if I've ever seen it, McMahon.
Oh my God.
And then so that's that Jesse Ventura voice where
he sounds like somebody took a Minnesota accent and left it in the oven too long and it got burned.
But then there's now I do Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy.
I made it! Oh my gosh! Oh, good gosh! I can't believe it, Jimmy Kimball. Yeah. How are you, Jimmy? You
fine.
old son of a gun. Here we are in Hollywood.
I wasn't actually introducing you.
And he's also from Minnesota, but it's more sad. He sounds way sadder. It's like you took a Minnesota regular person and he's been crying all night on crack cocaine. Crying all night and into the morning and into the next night on crack cocaine until he came up with the idea of My Pillow. Batman, you were born in the darkness. I think the darkness is your friend.
Baby cute.